Okay guys, we're going to go through a full body mobility routine. Okay, try and stay with the tempo I'm working at and the pace I'm working at throughout. Okay guys, we're going to go through a full body mobility routine, maybe about 10-12 minutes total. Try and stay with the tempo and the control I'm using throughout. Okay, so we're going to start with our cat-cow. So you want the wrist, elbow, shoulder in line, your knees directly onto your hips. You're going to tuck your chin in, round the back up, pulling the hips to the chest, roughly a 4 to 5 second hold, and then we're going to reverse it. Lift the head back to neutral, push the tummy to the ground, squeeze back and down on the shoulder blades. Again, 4 to 5 seconds before we go back into our first one. So as we arch up, as we are in this one, that's when we inhale. And as you bring the tummy to the ground, pull the shoulders back, that's when we exhale. Really control both ways. Like I said previously, you want a 4 to 5 second hold for each one. Good, last couple. Every rep we're trying to get a little bit more movement through that spine. And we're back to neutral. From here, you're going to bring the right hand up behind the head. Don't pull in the neck, just a little bit of support. You're going to bring the right elbow across to the left elbow. Take a deep breath in. And you're going to slowly exhale as you bring that shoulder around. Small hold, and then back to your starting point. Deep breath in. And exhale as you bring that shoulder around as far as you possibly can. Try and keep the hips locked in so you're solely moving from the top part of your spine. Your hips are not swaying to one side. Keep it going, last couple. Place the right hand back down, left hand up. Same again. Left elbow across to your right elbow. Deep breath in and slowly exhale as you bring that left shoulder around. Deep breath in as you come down, exhale as you come up. So we'll do 2 more. One more. Super. And from here guys, you're going to bring your left foot up outside the left hand. Okay, try and get up right beside, if not slightly past the left hand. And then we're going to lift the right knee off the ground, trying to straighten out as much as possible. From here, drop your left elbow down towards the ground, left hand in the air, hold for that second, and then back down again. Every rep, try and get the elbow a little bit closer to the ground. At the highest point, you want one long line from right hand to left hand. I'll do 2 more. One more. Excellent. Drop the hand back down. Drop your right knee onto the ground. Bring your left foot inside your left hand so it's in between both hands now. We're up onto our 4 fingers and thumb. Hover the back knee off the ground. When we're hovering the back knee just off the ground, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to push the hips to the sky, trying to straighten both legs as much as you can. 3 to 4 second hold, then lower down. Your 4 fingers and thumb stay on the ground at all times. Super guys. So we're exhaling on exertion, so exhale as you lift up. Inhale on that eccentric as you come down. Do 1 more. You should feel that all through the back of your left thigh here, okay? And drop that back knee onto the ground. Come up nice and tall. You're going to set your front knee at 90 degrees, if not slightly more. Head neutral, up nice and tall. You're going to push the hips forward. Try and push that front knee forward out past the toes. pushing the hips forward so you're feeling a stretch on that right hip flexor and the top of your thigh on the right side. When you're in this position, I want you to focus on trying to squeeze that right glute, trying to squeeze the right bum cheek nice and tight so you get a bit of an extra stretch on that hip flexor. Every time you exhale, push into it a little bit deeper. Good guys, good. And from here, that left foot is going to go out to your side, so directly out in line with the body. Okay, you're going to sit back onto the heel. You're up onto the side of that left foot. Okay, now from here, keeping the bum pushed back onto the heel, let's try and drop onto our elbows. And we're just going to hold that position. If that's too challenging to get down onto your elbows, just hold it from your hands, it's totally fine. But if you want to advance it a little bit, try and stay on the elbows. Nice and relaxed, deep breaths. If you want a bit of an extra stretch again, just slide that foot a little bit wider again. So the foot should be directly out in line with the hip, guys. Last few seconds. And back on to both knees. So we're going to repeat them 4 exercises again on the opposite side. So right foot up outside the right hand, slide the left foot on further back, left knee off the ground. You're going to drop the right elbow down towards the ground and then bring that right hand up in the air, hold for a couple of seconds and then back down again. Every rep, try and get the elbow a little bit closer to the ground. Good. Number 5, okay, so this is number 3. 2 more. Last one. Keep that foot flat on the ground, guys, as you rotate. You'll find that it'll want to come onto its side. Keep the foot flat. Drop your left knee back onto the ground. Bring your right foot inside the right hand, up onto your 4 fingers and your thumb either side. Hover the back knee off the ground, take a deep breath in, and as you lift up, exhale, try and straighten both legs as much as you can. Slowly lower back down. If you feel you can lock your both knees out fairly easily, place the hands flat on the ground, palms down. But make sure you're getting the knees locked out fully from your fingertips first. If you're not, just stay in your fingers is fine. 2 more reps. 1 more rep. And back onto your knees. Or your knee, sorry. So from here, set up again, 90 degrees, a bit more at that front knee, hands onto the hips. And we're just going to push the hips forward nice and gently. Try and drive that right knee forward. Hips forward, and once you're at that furthest point forward, try and squeeze the left glute nice and tight. Really controlled breathing here, guys. Every time you exhale, push into it a little bit further. So you get a massive stretch to that back thigh, that left thigh, right into your hip flexor. And relax. From here, bring that there right foot directly out in line with your right hip. Slide it out as far as you can. Sit back onto the left heel. We're up onto the side of that right foot. And like earlier on, it's going to drop onto the elbows. Again, if you find this quite challenging, just drop onto your hands, it's totally fine. If you want a bit of an extra stretch, just slide that foot a little bit further away from the body again. Super guys, nice and relaxed, deep breaths. Last few seconds. and we're back onto both knees. When we're back onto both knees, you're going to lay yourself flat on your tummy, hands out in line with the shoulders. From here, we're going to go into the scorpion. Okay, so objective here is trying to bring the opposite foot towards the opposite hand. Okay, or foot towards the opposite hand even. So we're going to bring that left foot across, up towards the right hand. Keep your left shoulder on the ground on the opposite side. Hold for a couple of seconds, and then back over. Then we're going to bring that right foot over towards the left hand. Keep your right shoulder down on the ground as much as possible. Hold for a couple of seconds. Keep alternating sides, okay? Good guys, good. So every time you come back to the middle, take a deep breath in. And as you bring that leg over, that's when we slowly exhale. You'll find that shoulder will be mad to come up on the opposite side. Keep the shoulder down. One more each side. Really opening up hips and lower back here. Excellent, guys. And we're just going to relax then, okay? Hands are going to go out in front this time, okay? I want you to make a fist shape with your hands. Point your thumbs towards the sky. Head stays in a neutral position. We're going to go left arm, right leg, and then opposite way around, okay? So you're going to go left arm, right leg coming off the ground. Hold for a couple of seconds. Then the opposite sides then. So right arm, left leg. The arm and leg staying on the ground. You want to press them into the ground as you lift the other two up. Again, deep breath in before you lift. Exhale as you lift them. We want no erratic movements, guys. Everything's nice and controlled. Just get a bit of work through the lower back here now as well, okay? As well as your glutes. Lifting the arm up also will test that shoulder mobility. Good guys, good. Good, just going to do one more each side. Good, excellent. Slide your hands back onto your shoulders. From here, back onto our knees. Get your knees as wide as possible, but your big toes are touching. So knees really wide, big toes touching. Sit back onto the heels, and let's start crawling the hands out as far as you can. Every time you exhale, you're going to crawl the hands further away from the body, pulling against the ground. So we're looking about a 6 to 8 seconds inhale, and then the same on the exhale, but when you're exhaling, you're crawling them hands a little bit further away again. Good guys, good. Excellent work. And we're just going to slide both hands over to the right hand side of the mat. Left hand on top of your right hand. Focus on keeping that left bum cheek pushed back on your left heel. Every time you exhale again, crawl that left hand a little bit further over to that right side. And then we're going to bring it across the opposite side. So we're going to the left hand side, right hand on top of your left hand. Keep the right bum cheek pushed back on the right heel. Back to the center. Come forward onto your hands. We're into a high plank, so we're onto our hands and our toes. Bring your feet nice and wide. Push the heels down, keeping the legs straight. You're going to slowly walk the hands in, not bend the knees. I want really small steps with the hands, guys, like baby steps. Push your heels into the ground, push your bum towards the roof or towards the sky. Nice and slow, guys. You're just going to hold there. When your weight comes off your hands and it's completely in your legs, just hold that position. Become a dead weight, and then we're just going to roll up nice and slowly. Head is the last thing to lift. Whew. Hopefully the body's feeling a little bit freer there now, guys. Thanks for watching.